Can you guys hear me? Hey. Just a second here.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that
Oh,
I see
Elena,
from your
Elena
sky.
is talking.
We're
You just can't hear her.
toast,
Um,
and your heart makes no
it's
sound.
like it seems really
I
delayed. It
find
seems like
light in
I'm
your
listening to
eyes. You'll
Twitch and it's like 15 seconds
always
delayed.
be my night sky.
Oh, well, I'm gonna be watching on Twitch though, unless you can throw up a Discord stream as well, so that I'm. Oh, okay. All right, I'll try to get in the like spec the game from client so that it's not doesn't sound like I'm like really off time. lobby. Sorry, I'm just trying to set it up.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
I'm definitely not at the right time, though. I'm at 40, 41, 42, 43. I guess I can just go back, though. Oh. Okay. Yep. Okay. So chat, if I say 58, 59, 60, do you hear my voice when I'm saying it?
Minions have spawned.
Perfect. Perfect. I think it's a Walker enjoyer. Walker has a lot of fans. Kind of nice starts from both sides, though. They both came in, got some wards, different sides of the map, so nothing happened. But, you know, not just 5 points. It's nice to see. Both junglers starting their blues. What's that? What team is blue? TSC. TSC knows Wukong starting. SB does not necessarily know where Diana is, but probably knows. I only saw when they were drafting in client. I didn't see the actual draft. You can't mute. Are you unmuted now? Because it's just okay. Lucian kind of chunked. No fight at red. Sataniel's gonna go for this gank before he gets red, maybe? Besides thinking about it. I think it's really hard to get that gank off without red buff. Wukong jumps over the wall with that new ability to jump over the wall that they added.
Who?
Pretty exciting, yeah.
Looks like the scoreboard is updating for this game, which is very exciting.
Diana going in, not going to get a lot of information. Doesn't drop a ward. Not too much happening. Everything's pretty much even.
Did you put in your predictions for this series, Adam?
Yeah.
Who did you pick?
Let me check. I think I predicted SB.
I don't think I wrote mine down for this one.
Although, and this is, you know, secret information, TSC did kind of boom us in some scrims. So, you know, don't go around telling everyone that.
Really hoping for an SB loss. Or no, wait, yeah, no, wait, SB win.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So here comes the lane gank. Sataniel has the red buff, doesn't get the auto off, but Leona had flash, so I don't think the slow really matters much. You get the flash out of it, you're pretty happy. Misa going back to recycle up. Clove gets a nice little ward in on his Raptors. Again, they're going to kind of know what side of the map he is not on. They haven't gotten so, you know, done much with that information, but it's nice. It's always nice to know. Maybe it helps their laners farm. Ooh, Wukong on the dragon. I have literally no idea about a level for Wukong's ability to take Infernal Drake. Probably it's fine.
I don't even. Is Wukong actually a jungler right now, or is this like ego pick?
Yeah, they buffed him for this patch, and part of it was jungle buffs. So he got across the board buffs. There was they made his little dash
Yeah.
be able to go over walls, which
Yeah.
helps jungling. But I think there was like a monster buff, damage buff, or something. I'm interested to see how it goes. I mean, he's keeping up in farm. He's one camp behind, but he got the dragon. He's gonna lose his raptors, but that's not a big deal.
Everything's fine.
Or are we gonna see our first fight of the game?
Am I like?
Asian Problems TPs to protect the raptors. Misses the cage. No, he flashed it. He flashed out of the cage. We didn't see it.
Right now, the camera is just wanting to watch Twan. All right, there we
Yeah.
go.
So I have my directed cam, and I think it's the same as I
Yeah, I
think
think it's-
different directed cams go the same way. I don't know.
think so. I think they're the same. But
Okay.
mine was just on top lane for like a minute.
Yeah, I was watching the mini map. It was really exciting. Oh, there's no heals. Both bot laners, both ADCs went exhaust. I am not used to seeing that.
Exhaust and Arsena win cleanse, which I think makes sense. You didn't see the draft, but they SB 1-2 to Wukong, Leona, and then TSC responded with Senna, which I was like, oh my god. You're
Oh,
gonna
because it's just
die.
hard. Yeah, hard
Yeah.
to get that dove on.
Yeah. Very easy target for them into Senna and very hard for Senna. So Wire is very spicy today.
Yeah, the Senna seems a little different from the rest of the comp, but he is a really good Senna, so I think he just kind of,
She does
you know,
scale, so
yeah.
if we
Yeah,
can
she'll
get
scale and
there.
get damage. But seems like the rest of the team really wants to go in. Oh, mistimed the dash, and he pays for it. Clove can't get onto the no mana Vigar. He does, and he's not going to get the return kill. Oh no, it's disaster for TSC, but if you put all your Boba points on SB, it's exactly what you want to see right now. Wukong and Vigar are each picking up a kill. They're gonna have so much pressure off of that once they spend that gold. We'll see if they try to turn it into the Herald or they just wait for this next dragon. Ooh. Michipu goes down in the top lane, uses his ult to get out, and doesn't. That's painful.
Bot lane. Well, oh. Okay. Double kill return. No, it's too far.
Nathaniel's there at the right time, and he does that a lot. I feel like he
Being
like,
in places at the right time.
yeah. Which is, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. That's a great place, Nathaniel. Or Mr. Satan.
SP bot lane has no sums. They are up 4-1. I wonder if TSC tries to throw some stuff bot to try to even up the game off that no sum bot lane. Ooh. Wukong leaves the pit against a Malphite that didn't have flash, or ult, but the rest of the team is coming. I don't know. That's one of those plays that kind of feels bad. I feel like for SB, like they're up in gold. They had the prio and the pressure and everything, but they decide not to take the fight because their team is just not there quick enough, and you know they spent time getting everyone there, but even though they're ahead, they didn't want to take the fight. I probably would have inted in.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to int to win, right?
Yeah. So with their instead they go for the dragon. They're gonna be up 2 dragons to 0. It's gonna be a cloud soul because that's how it works.
I said Cloud Soul. Oh, it's Ocean.
Oh, it's a good soul. Wow.
Well,
That was an ult.
it was an ult.
Both junglers bot side. Wukong jumps over the wall. He is seen now, and he's in a slightly awkward spot.
Okay. The Diana
Oh.
ult.
The ult's just the Diana. Diana gets 2, blows him up. It's a 1-for-1 right now.
Oh. PJ? PJ win? PJ carry.
Oh.
Triple? No.
Low
too
comes
far.
in and cleans it up. That fight was like one team was winning, then the other team was winning, then I think the first team went back and won.
Who was the first team?
TSC. They've started to even up gold little, and Plobe has 3 kills.
Is my scoreboard updating? It is. Okay.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Ooh. Okay.
Big first kill for Sataniel. He got a little bit behind. I think that he is not in a great spot because he should have been, I think, quite a bit up in farm in this matchup. He's on the board now, and you know, especially since they don't have any dragons, Diana wants to be power farming a little bit more. Stolen Leona ult forces out the MF flash. 130 to dragon.
No.
Oh, we got a lot going on right now. The dream MF ult where someone's stuck in the Vigar cage and you can just unload on them.
Oh
Wukong
my
does
God.
not get the kill on the Lucian though. Lucian uses Gale Force, I think, to turn the fight around because I didn't see what happened, but Wukong is much lower now.
I think he also exhausted him. Oh, but he might. Oh, he's super doomed still.
Yeah, whole team's there. Just sleeping a little bit. Going into this dragon fight, SP has 2 grievous wounds already, which I think is really smart of them. They're all kind of converging, Aurelia a little bit behind. Leona's fine to take this for a little bit, you know.
He's
Yeah,
super
now it feels
tanky.
like Clove and Sataniel are a little far out. Sataniel goes down. Clove misses. Barak is now surrounded by people and can ult. The MF ult cleans up. Man, that MF Vygar combo is working out really well for them. They're. I feel like he's waiting to the right time to use it.
Right.
Big win for SB. They go up 3 dragons to 0, and it's starting to look a little doomed if they get that Ocean Soul with kind of positive scaling on their end a little bit. Maybe even scaling. Oh, Toonsoul in the 2v1. Does he take it? He takes it! Oh, he does.
He dies. But maybe TSC can get the spot tower with the bounty. Actually, I
You
don't
saw
think they
him
can.
Stand there for a second,
Yeah.
deciding whether to go out or go in, and I respect that he went in.
Do I do it?
Vagar,
Senna save.
Big
Senna
damage.
save.
but
That's
now
what
Clove's
Vagar
starting to get
did.
big. And this is, I mean, this is what SB needs to worry about, because Clove getting big is how TSC wins this game. He's good at League of Legends.
He is good at League of Legends.
Aurelia coming from base, TP's in, rooted, doesn't have ult, is going to have trouble getting much out of this. Does have the Herald, might drop it here. A lot of people bot lane right now.
Ooh. Maybe good catch.
Oh no.
Oh, he has to kill faster. Alright, he might get stuck in baby cage.
Is he going to outplay
No,
one him
baby
right now?
cage.
Oh no. Man,
Okay.
I think SP's a little scrappy right now in a way that they don't necessarily need to be.
Just a little scrappy.
Yeah.
They still have, what's the soul timer? 1:30?
Yeah, I mean, they'll all be up. They'll all have their ults and everything. So it'll be a proper 5v5 if they want it, where SP's pretty favored still. But I don't know. I feel like they weren't very controlled. They'll also be able to drop the Herald before the Dragon, which will be nice for them. I think they'll probably take it mid, where it actually matters.
The Drew in chat says TSC comeback angle. Do you think it's a TSC comeback angle?
I don't know. It's hard because it's like, who do they go on? Like, look at SB's gold. I feel like they like all four of their damage dealers are threats right now. It's not like you can just take out one person and win the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say 100% TSC comeback angle.
Yeah.
As LQ loses half his
Yeah.
health to a
All
max
of their
range.
damage dealers are
E.
fed TSC comeback angle.
Oh no, they're taking. They
This
have
is
to take this
okay.
time to stop it. Ooh,
This is
Aurelia
actually
all.
fine.
They do go in on it. Wukong gets a couple
Never
frontliners.
mind.
Aurelia takes out Diana, or sorry, Lucian in the back line. Diana's down. Aurelia trades for the kill on Lucian. Malphite goes down. They're just gonna push and back out to the dragon, and it's feeling pretty doomed.
I said it was fine at the start of that fight. It was not fine.
Yeah, the Aurelia ult was ahead of the team, but the team decided to
Right.
close in on it, and it was a good decision.
I was hoping TSC could just fall back to their Aurelia, but
So if you're TSC, what do you do differently going into game 2?
I mean, I think the Senna is really hard to play into this, and I don't really know what she offers. So
Yeah.
100% would change that out. I would also
I
change
agree.
Lucian out.
I think in an ideal world, the Senna gets a lot of damage in those mid-game fights, but it does feel like an ego pick where they just lost a lot of pressure top, which meant SB got, oh wow. While we were talking, TSC gets Baron.
TSC comeback.
TSC
Now
comeback.
it's the TSC comeback. I mean, they do stall though with that at least.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that bot pressure led to free dragons. Like those first two dragons were pretty free for SB, and then it was a good soul.
I don't know. Well, I don't think Lucian in general is just very strong right now. Also, he's such short range, and into this team, it feels really, really bad. Because I don't know how
Yeah.
you get up to anyone and actually do damage to them before you just get stunned up by something and die. Unlike Misfortune here, who just ults from a screen away and it's like, alright. I don't remember what their bans were though. Look at that after.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I don't know anything about top lane matchups. Is Aurelia a Malphite counter, or is
I'm gonna say yes, with no context on top lane.
yeah, I don't know that. Yeah,
I have no
Well,
idea.
let's make wild, definitive statements about top lane matchups right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So Aurelia is very good in the Malphite because the W counters him.
Baron's about to be up for TSC. They didn't get much out of it, but like what else, like what could they have hoped to do? It's still pretty fantastic that they were able to get the Baron on SB back in the first place. It would have been nice if they were able to get a bounty or two off turrets, but just getting the Baron stalls out the SB victory. So. Wow, only 9 people watching this game. It's the winners bracket
We're two of them.
semifinal.
I wonder how many people. I know more people watch this game, but I don't know how much.
Yeah, there's like 28 people.
Well, that's a good catch for TSC. Okay. Diana might
Good
be
pick.
dead.
Oh, Diana doesn't pop the Vigor Page with her Q, and so she struggles to wait for the ult, isn't able to get it off. Malphite goes in, hits a few people, doesn't do much.
And Silas is so tanky right now.
Globe flashes, kills the Vigar, doesn't kill the Vigar. They're all so low.
Now he kills the
Globe
Viper.
not able to get the next heal off, and it's TSC bot lane versus 3 healing members of SB.
Landry says all the real players are in the losers bracket, and I'm gonna have to agree because that's where I am.
Yeah, I heard they're just inventing new teams down there.
You guys are getting very excited in the lower bracket. Lots of drama if you come down here.
I'm thinking about it.
Don't even try to play the next game. Just FF before it starts.
All right, so here's my strongly held opinion, okay? Wukong just stole a camp from TSC, and it was the Raptors, and he didn't finish it, and it's like, oh, you don't finish it because it's their camp.
Right.
I think you finish it, and you just like, this is my camp. I want it to
Just
be up
take
in
it
2
and
minutes,
then
30
take it
seconds,
again.
so that I can take it again. Yeah, this is my strongly held belief.
I mean, I'm not a pro or anything, but I think that makes sense.
Yeah. I think SB just entered the game away by not giving 8 gold to the Diana.
I mean, they do have so much pressure that by the time it's back up, they're probably just gonna take it anyway, so I don't know.
Exactly. Ooh. Veigar fine. Oh, still has the Banshee's Veil. Dodge and Diana Q's all over the place. They go in on Plobe. It's kind of a split fight. Diana's looking for the flank. Isn't going to do it yet. Wants to get on the back line.
Oh, this looks exciting, honestly. Alright, it's not. No.
MF ult kind of gets Plobe. Plobe goes down. Malphite ult too far for the rest of the team to follow. Doesn't have the damage to kill. Leona goes in, locks down the back line. It's a wipe. It's going to be an SB win right here. Very clean game 1. Still a lot of positives for TSC. We'll see if they're able to take it to a game 3. That was a very split fight. Definitely going to favor SB that has the massive healing buff from the Ocean Soul. If it's a bunch of 2v2 skirmishes where no one has enough damage to burst. I think if TSC wanted to look, they needed like to just like all go hard. But you know, it's hard to dive in onto a Vigar, Wukong,
Right.
Leona, MF. Really, it was the game was just over. But I mean,
don't think it Elder.
they're gonna try to trade Elder for Baron. It's probably not
It's
gonna
not
work.
gonna work.
But you know,
Oh, they're already running over.
doing stuff.
Okay, but Bush?
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it'd be better if it was before the Elder, but
Yeah.
they're looking for a nice little cohesive team fight.
Alright. Well,
This is gonna be a No! Oh, can I get some report Mises? I'm gonna type one.
report me in chat. Didn't give Penta.
Thanks, TTV Caribou. Wow. TSC has to be thrilled about the end of that game, though. I mean, Skyhawk is going to be so tilted going into game 2 that it, what can SB do but throw this
Team
next game?
Betrayal.
How can you trust your jungler?
Right. now. What is it, 7:50? So we got 10 minutes until the next game. Which means it's time for more non-copyrighted music. Let's say Alright, we already got a lobby for game 2. Do you want to be? Oh, okay, you're already in here. Good.
Yeah. Man, Vigar has been so high prio in playoffs. It's I feel like it's what Morgana was like last season or 2 seasons ago, where it's like everyone's I mean, it's only going mid, but it's just like, you know, hard to just like one of those like I don't know. I feel like dive comps are so good in BTL where like people are, I don't know, it's just like one of the easier team comps to pull off, and it just kind of shuts that down a little bit. But it's been, I mean, it's been very high prio. I wonder if it gets banned out and we see something like a Nocturne from Sataniel that wasn't banned last game.
I was really thinking they were going to go for the Nocturne, but we ended up getting the first pick Diana. I mean, I definitely think, looking at the bans, TSC banned Nautilus, Oriana, Sivir. I think, honestly, just drop Oriana and Sivir. Pick something else, please.
I agree. I think that, I don't know, I think those are, any of those bans could be replaced with I think the Vigar is going to be gone. Or, you know, or Plo picks it, or you pick something like a Corgi that just kind of matches the scaling. Or a Victor.
SB wins game 1. SB actually didn't have the prediction vote.
Corgi would be nice too, because we saw like several people on SB had spell shields of some sort, or maybe it was just the Vigar, but it's, you know, you just pop it with Corgi Rocket, and then if the rest of your team is dive, they can go in. TSC does pick blue side for game 2.
Yes, they do pick blue.
So that means they have some prio pick that they want to contest, I would imagine.
Well, I hope it is not Diana again.
I mean, he popped off first series with Diana. I do think that the Wukong seems pretty strong into it. She dives in, you ult. And, you know, Diana has like a very linear like engage pattern, so you know what she's gonna do. And the Wukong is just apparently Giga Busted this patch, so it seems like it could be a strong counter. It would probably also be pretty strong into a Nocturne that has a similar playstyle. Plus, if you clone at the right time, you might get Nocturne to tether the wrong target.
Yeah, mainly just want to see new bands and new bot lane.
Yeah.
let's go. In the meantime, let's go see how many people watched the B game last night. See, B versus AR had an average of 18 viewers, 28 max viewers, and 50 unique viewers. It's quite a lot.
Mm. SB trying to get an LCS order ends up adding Alistar bot to their team and then Soraka bot. I feel like that means it's a TSC win.
It's a TSC win, or is
Yeah.
it? Alright, draft about to start. Got our prediction up.
Oh, was that just a game 1 prediction that we did?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now we're doing a game 2 prediction. Alright, we're starting now. Alright, new bands, new bands. Nautilus, same. Oh no. Please, TSC, don't ban the same 3 things.
I would like if their third band was Vagar, but MF
Okay,
is good too.
I'll
The
take
MF
it.
was
I'll
used
take it.
pretty successfully.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just one of the most lane dominant ADCs.
Yeah.
So
She's definitely a lane bully for them. Okay. Okay. First
they're
pick
immediately
Veigar.
switching things up. I
Mhm.
like it.
Mm-hmm. Good start. Okay, SB says if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I'm gonna guess that we're going with Leona. Yep.
What bot lane do we see here? Or
I
maybe a
don't.
Nocturne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think Nocturne might be kind of difficult into the Wukong. I don't know the matchup. It just doesn't seem like it would be very fun with the clone.
I don't remember what the rest of Wired's pool is. Okay, well, better disengage than Senna had, so I'll take it. That's a hyper carry game.
I like it. So we might see, I don't know, a cleanse on the Jinx here then.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have, I mean, they have a lot of peel tools already for the Jinx.
It's just a little scary depending on what SB puts into this. Actually, it might not be that bad because usually Angela's not a lane dominant laner, so Veigar could have a free scale.
Yeah, I wonder where that Karthus is going. I mean, it's kind of a triple flex. Jungle Karthus is, in my opinion, gigabusted right now with the... I mean, it was a pretty small increase from like 85% bonus damage on Q to 95%.
Oh
But
my
it was
God.
already so fast clearing that it's insane right now. It could go mid, it could go ADC. So they could send the Wukong
Or no,
top.
I mean Wukong could go top, yeah.
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 I don't know that the Karthus, because like the Karthus ults aren't going to be crazy effective into a Seraphine.
Yeah.
If TSC is grouped up. I mean, there's still going to be, you know, a chunk, but they banned the Sivir again. They're I don't totally get it. But
Safe wave clear. I guess she would be annoying for them in lane. Well, Jinx lane isn't as bad as it used to be, so she definitely should have prior on them though. I do. Is Ashe worse than a Sivir? Ashe is pretty strong right now.
yeah, I like the Ashe here. I don't know. It's kind of neutral, but just a good utility pickup always.
I always like Ashe.
Yeah.
And I mean, the core that TSC has right now is pretty immobile. Okay, Set has a good disengage too for once they run at them with Leona Wukong.
Yeah, so that's also just hard for someone like Wukong to ult. If it is a top lane matchup, I feel like it's relatively hard for Wukong, but I don't know shit about top lane matchups.
Same. Oh, the Rek'Sai. Okay.
I like that quite a bit, especially if it's going to be a Karthus jungle, which it looks like it's going to be a Karthus mid, but
Is this just Leona Cart? Oh, no, they have Ashe.
yeah, so SB takes the Malphite top lane this time, it would seem. I mean, we could see something funky, but
I mean, I feel kind of better about TSC's comp this game, but still not great because they picked a lot of immobiles into Leona, Wukong, Ashe, Malphite.
yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I feel fine with both drafts. Like I don't know like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know a lot about them. They're both fine. I feel like sometimes when we're commenting we're like we're just like anything would have got ripped up, you know?
Everything is good.
Yeah. It's fine.
If I were playing in the World Finals of League of Legends, I would feel really good about having either one of these team comps.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. I do always like seeing Rek'Sai's, especially if they're able to take over the early game. They're very
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, there's also a lot of immobile targets on SB, Ashe, Malphite, Karthus.
Yeah.
None of them have
Right.
dashes pre-6, so you know we could see some really successful ganks from the Rek'Sai to get ahead. To I don't know that the Wukong would really be able to fight much
Right.
if that happens. I guess I don't know. I put my Boba points on TSC this game,
It's a
but
TSC
part of it was
win.
because it took a lot longer for SB to get in LCS order.
So maybe we'll see Rek'Sai gets ahead early, buys enough time for their mid and bot to scale. And then TSC does have decent disengage, so good. On the other hand, SB looks like they just have a very easy team fight engage comp to execute.
Yeah. What kind of Karthus do you? Is this going to be a first strike Karthus who ults before the fight starts, or is this going to be a Dark Harvest Karthus that ults at the fight end?
I have no idea. Both?
Oh. Yeah, I just feel like if it is a first strike Karthus, like a TSC, if they're well organized, could cancel out a lot of that damage with their Seraphine shields, and I don't know, that set really dislikes taking a little bit of damage going into a fight.
I don't know what mid Karthus looks like anymore in general because it's been so long since he's ever been there.
Yeah. I really don't. I don't know. I don't love the Malphite pick here. I think that like they showed game one that there's a bit of a skill difference. I mean, Michipu I think is off-roll top lane anyway, and I think the Malphite's gonna. I don't really know what a Malphite can do to gap a set in the top lane, but
Yeah,
you know,
maybe it's just for, I don't know, more engage. They
yeah,
also
I'm
left it
often
for
wrong.
counter. So I don't know. Where's League
Yeah,
of
it doesn't
Graphs
seem
to
like a
tell
really,
me
like-
it's a hard counter?
It doesn't seem like an inspired counter pick.
wish I could change the time remaining on the prediction so I don't have to just end submissions. Oh geez, also now it is 83% SB win, 17% TSC win.
Well, only 2 people have voted, and it's me and Skyhawk. I think Skyhawk came in
Okay.
and put 10k on his team.
Yeah. See? Yeah, he just put 10k on his team. Oh, no, we got more Landry with 7k to TSC, now evening 53 for SB, 47% to TSC. Every time, this is Walker, right? The Mystic Ducky.
Yeah, isn't he handsome?
Yeah, but every time I look at his Twitch name, I just say the My Sticky Ducky. And I don't like it.
Classic sticky ducky.
It's My Sticky Ducky.
Nice.
Oh, now we got 50-50 split. We're ending the submissions at 50-50.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing to see.
The perfect split. I think it was exactly 10k points on each side too.
Yeah. It's kind of nice you're going to get out exactly what you put into it or lose it
Yeah.
all.
Alright, let's speed this up.
All right. So I'm at 22, 23, 24, 25. Chat, let me know if that's when you're hearing my voice or not.
I'm a little behind. Hold on.
Yeah, probably not quite yet.
Let me update it again.
Because I don't want to spoil.
Now
Both
I'm
teams
at
are just
39, 40,
5
41,
pointing.
42.
Okay, I'm at 40, 41, 42, 43. I can skip ahead a second if I need to.
I'm at 50.
Oh, okay,
51.
okay. We're the same.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Does it show that Malphite and Vagar didn't buy a trinket? Is that a glitch? It was. Okay. Also, we do see the cleanse from Jinx.
Again, both teams starting their blue side. I don't now, like, I'm thinking about it now. I don't remember an early gank by TSC last game. They got a bot, like they got a couple good ganks off bot, but nothing early. I'm not 100% sure why they're starting top. Their bot lane's not really getting any great position off it because of it.
I mean, can Rek'Sai level 2 or something? And she's already past that point.
Yeah. I mean, Rek'Sai could level 2. You would want to do it with red buff, I would think, over blue buff. But okay, it is first strike Karthus,
Okay.
so we might see some ults at the beginning of fights. Rek'Sai finishes blue side, starts to look up at Wukong. Red side decides against it. Jinx uses cleanse on the Leona engage.
That ended up being a better trade for TSC. But they did lose the cleanse, so she's very vulnerable. And now
Ooh,
she's
and
omega
flash.
vulnerable.
Yeah. I mean, they know that they're kind of strong side.
Okay, gank mid. Oh, she's stuck.
Oh, well
Okay,
done. The
clean
flash
gank.
knock up gets the E full damage.
There's the Rek'Sai we want.
Yeah, that's. And Rek'Sai is coming bot now. Still has never done red. Oh no, Rek'Sai is gonna stop to do the cannon or the crab first. I think you just go straight bot there.
What? Leona, no flash.
Now we're gonna see Wukong looking top. I don't know that they have kill potential, so he's just gonna go to the crab. Vigar looking for something maybe. Does not have Predator. Opted for the Electrocute instead.
Oh no, it's a 4-man.
So
Dan's
4v2.
is very
Dan's
dead.
in, and they're just gonna go for the Leona. Oh, Rek'Sai is gonna see if he can't get the Ashe. He gets a lot of damage down. Doesn't get the kill, and Skyhawk very what's the word I'm looking for? Holds his summoners
Yeah.
like a G.
Yeah. I mean, pretty good start for TSC. That was a kill on the Jinx.
Yeah, the Jinx with no sums.
Oh, and it's a
Gets
solo.
gets the kill.
Solo? It's a solo.
Oh,
in the top
it's a
lane.
Michi Poo solo. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that they needed to save counter pick for that matchup.
Yeah. If it was going to be the Malphite.
Rek'Sai loses out a little bit where both junglers were in their opposing blue side. Rek'Sai goes, gets the wards down, doesn't take the camps. Wukong does take the camps. No wards, but I think Wukong's happier with that. We might see an early dragon. Oh, and Set feeling himself pulls the Malphite right back in for a trade.
Feeling his oats.
Yeah.
And we do get an early dragon. But this time it's a TSC dragon. Oh, that's a lot of damage on the Karthus. He almost died.
Yeah, see now this time TSC has the bot mid pressure. They're able to go for these dragons. They're ahead, they're feeling great.
Oh. Is Mr. Satan gonna stay down here? Alright, Matt just has to bait. Or Seraphine has to bait with the body.
Neither jungler has 6 right now, but Wukong's doing this crap, might get 6 off it, and then TSC is not in a great spot if Wukong comes bot with a level 6 into this 3v3. Nothing's happening yet, though. Also, Karthus has ult, which is going to be a global presence in any fight. Wukong does not quite get the 6 off the crab.
First strike ult. Oh, Malphite roam though. I don't think they see it coming yet.
Wow, that's kind of spicy.
Oh, but the
no!
missed E.
Oh no, it's so costly. I mean, it's not a super consistent engage anyway. It's it's a flash Leona E, but They wasted a lot of time on it.
Yeah, if SB had waited to make this play with their bot lane sixes, that could have been tragedy for TSC. Or if the
Yeah, I
E
don't know.
hit, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They had time to do that. If they could have, I guess bot lane has flashes up, but if they could have just engaged on the Malphite ult, I feel like that's a more consistent engage. You either get the flashes or
Right.
you get the kill. Leona has 6 before anyone else in bot lane.
Oh, but where did this damage on Ashe come from? I mean, I think ideally in this bot lane,
Oh, we have a jungle fight.
it's a solo in the mid.
It's a solo in the mid. I'm loving Michi Poo on this set. I hope they pick it again next game. I think it's the best he's looked so far in BTL. I think he
Isn't
looks.
this only the second game he's looked in BTL?
Well, no, didn't he play the full last series? Did he not? Am I
What was last series?
crazy? Didn't TSC
Oh
play?
yeah, they did.
Who did they play? Not
Whatever
GB.
the first round. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah,
I forgot this series happened.
I think he played in that.
Yeah,
deep
yeah,
dive.
he should have played in that.
Yeah, I think this is the best he's looked at. He seems more confident, and he got a solo kill.
He did get a solo kill. Also, I just like Set, so if he's in the game, I'm happy to watch. I'm also overall pretty happy with Rek'Sai. One, because I also like watching Rek'Sai. Two,
Plus, like, yeah, sorry.
no, you can say the two.
Rek'Sai got early game kills.
Yeah.
I was just so excited. I'm sorry. I forgot numbers above 1 existed.
It's 1 and then 0 and then -1, only down.
The Karthus hasn't ulted yet, which is a little awkward.
Oh, here's the engage, but
Gotta get an
Seraphine
ult
still
out
has ult,
here, right?
right?
Karthus?
Wait, no, Seraphine ulted at the start. Oops. Oh, very nice for TSC.
I feel like
If you're
I-
first strike Karthus, do you just want to be using the ult whenever it's up? Is that a thing? Or like this, when do you use it?
I'm not gonna like claim to know. I've never played it, but that like my understanding is there are at least a few times in the game where it is okay to just like, oh, your ult's up, your first strike is up, throw your ult out. And especially if a fight is starting, I think you ult while your first strike is up
I see.
before you walk into the fight, because you're getting gold, you're getting extra damage, and you're impacting the fight before you get there.
I see. Okay, second dragon to TSC. Alright, now it's Cloud Dragon.
Oh no. SB paid the dragon gods
Yeah.
and TSC forgot to.
Rip.
Man, this Vigar is huge.
I know, he's really thick. Also,
I have
Jinx is
to-
also getting fed too, so.
Yeah, I have to imagine that we're gonna see red side Vigar ban next game. Ashe all hits and we get a cleanse from the Jinx.
Okay. That's fine. Everybody's just banning Vagar now.
What?
Teach him, Flash.
Wukong going up might go straight for a gank, might take Krugs. I don't know that Set is killable. Set has Gore Drinker. We'll see.
He
Oh
also-
no. Well,
he's
without
stuck.
W, Set's very killable.
Yeah. Okay. Ult's
Oh,
out.
Okay.
Can he reach? W back up yet, please?
Oh,
No.
it's a little awkward. It was a good try. I think he W'd right before the Wukong came on
Yeah.
screen. But also I think he's been very
Oh,
willing to use his
Matt.
W's for poke damage, which he just paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think SP must have just realized that. Mm-hmm. Jinx goes down, but Zygar gets the mid tower. 4K gold lead at 1354. TSC's got to still be feeling pretty good.
I mean, they definitely have to scale better, right? They have better scale for sure.
Which
TSC.
TSC, yeah, I think so. I mean, Rek'Sai is gonna fall off a bit, but other than that, they're
Right.
all very happy to go to the mid late game.
Mm-hmm.
And like Rek'Sai would still have enough damage to kill Ashe if you can get on her. I mean, it's gonna be, you know,
Right.
if you don't die first, but
She'll provide utility with the knockups too, right?
yeah.
Oh, PJ's looking. Oh, he's stuck.
Oh
That's
wow,
a lot of damage.
that's so much damage. That's the electrocute coming
Oh
through.
no. And now it's a rift for TSC. To the top.
Also, Plo being huge means. Well, I was gonna say that we're gonna see a couple Merc treads, but Malphite's already built tabbies, so maybe not. Cool.
That's an Ashe
The
arrow
Ashe
mid.
arrow goes fishing, doesn't get it. They still get on Plobe. They're gonna go for the shutdown. They're gonna sell out for it. Oh no!
They didn't get it. Oh, now they do. Rip.
Can't miss that.
That's so close.
Is there a way to see in the spectator how much gold you've gotten off of First Strike? I'm like trying to see and
Off
I
of
can't.
first strike?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's click around. I'm pretty sure there has to be. You probably have to click on. I click.
Yeah, I clicked on Karthus and it
And
says that it's
then-
active, but I don't. Oh, maybe. Oh, okay, here it is. Oh, whoops.
Did you find it?
Yeah. 44 gold. That's not great.
This is a good disengage by TSC.
Yeah, this is what you were talking about in
Yeah.
their draft. We're gonna see a big fight of this next track. There's no Ashe ult, no Karthus ult, no Wukong ult, and no Seraphine ult. So TSC in
Yeah.
a relatively good position. They're only missing a couple flashes. Okay, 3 flashes. That's a few.
And what is Jinx? Jinx has cleanse at least.
Yeah. And they're just SB cannot walk in. They're gonna give it. It is a quadrate. Again, we see Mitchie Poo throwing out the W when, you know, maybe you don't want to be, but
You can't help it. You see the bar go up and you're like, I have to use the W even if it doesn't make any sense.
feel like in BTL, like the relatively lower ranked player. Oh,
Oh, did he not have a ward?
wow. So
Oh
much
my
damage
God.
onto a tank. I feel like in BTL, like a relatively lower ranked player just going even in lane is such a huge boon to a team. And so I feel like the set, like, I mean, the set won the lane.
Yeah,
It's it's helped them out a lot.
that's
It's
even better
yeah.
for TSC.
I mean, that's also like why Angela was so helpful in the regular season to SB, although she was like winning the lanes a lot of the time.
But overall, very stable and then stronger in team fights.
Yeah. SP maybe looking for something here. They see the Vygar bot. They have plenty of engaged tools. Rek'Sai hovering. It's just gonna be clearing and walking away. Oh, Ashalt was not up.
Soon TM. Oh, you're looking for something? Everything's warded out right now. It's a little hard.
Set flanking. Ash in a little bit of an awkward spot. Gets away. Now Rek'Sai's in an awkward spot. Rek'Sai's got the ability to ult, but
Ooh,
not if
that
he
long range Seraphine ult though.
not in range. Rek'Sai goes down. It's a big ult by the Malphite. The Malphite gets so much out of that. The SB turns it around.
The double kill.
Oh no! Vygar gets the walk away double kill, evens out the fight almost entirely.
Oh my god, that was about to be so bad for TSC too, because they had just gone up a little too far.
Right? SB goes from a 3 for 0 to a 3 for 2. And that's just the power of Vygar right now.
He's 6-1. Getting
Wow.
stacks.
But it's like he doesn't have pen boots. He's not building towards a death cap. He's got Everfrost and Zhonya's completed. And he's just chunking everyone.
I forgot to put on the overlay. Now it's up.
Dragon's about to come up. Set's not there, but he has TP. He's walking down anyway. But this is one of those fights where I would really like to see Karthus ult very early, especially before they're all right next to the Seraphine.
Right.
Karthus has the Leandries, has, for now, first strike unless he takes poke damage.
Oh, they're stuck.
We don't see it. We see the Ash arrow onto the Rek'Sai. Set gets onto the back line. Set does huge damage on the back line. Rek'Sai not able to, or does get an ult off.
Oh, but the
Set goes down.
cooldowns.
TSC backline able to mostly fend off the dive. Karthus gets the ult off without the first strike.
Gale Force? Gale Force kill.
Wow. I love that. What a huge play by Elky. Evens up the numbers. TSC doesn't have their jungler here, but they can walk in behind the strength of Plobe.
They have Cage.
They're gonna
to keep
start the
him out.
dragon. Oh, they have Cage, but if he walks into,
Yeah, well, all right.
I'll just.
The
yeah, it's
Cages
fucking-
anyways.
Wow. Man, that's one of those plays where I don't know. Like we know that the Wukong's in
Yeah.
there, so like it looks really silly. I don't know that it actually
We
was,
should
but
assume that he's there. Did they see him
Yeah.
walk in? I don't know.
no, I don't think so. But who knows? Wow.
Now they gotta. The Vigor's gonna catch him.
Oh my god.
It's a Vigor series.
See, this is why the tabbies that I mean the Malphite needs Merc Treads. I don't know that it matters, but Daniel gets the kill onto Karthus. They're looking for maybe the Wukong. Okay, he pops his teammate over. What a team player.
So with Cloud Dragon, how much faster does Vigor's ult come up now?
I don't know.
Set trying to keep this Wukong out.
Wukong comes in. Oh no, he gets charmed. And I mean, the Vygar might literally just be out smiting right now.
Karthus ult kills the Seraphine.
Vygar all is on a 58-second cooldown right now. SB getting one bounty. Or not. Oh no.
No, they get it. They got it. Oh, but Jinx is
Wow.
Jinx
Look at
starting
that.
to do damage too.
Jinx damage forces out the Ash Flash.
Was TSC the team that beat SB in the regular season?
Yeah, I think it was like week 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're about to be the only team to beat SB again.
Again.
Until B-Gang sees SB.
Unless SB loses, then gets kicked out from losers bracket, and then
True.
then you can face TSC maybe.
Based on scrim results, wouldn't love it.
Do you have scrim results versus SB?
I think
what
we
are those
scrimmed them.
stats?
I think we scrimmed them before the season started, and we went 1-1.
Okay. 50%.
50%,
Pretty good.
which means 100% chance we win.
Yeah.
Ash
Rek'Sai
arrow
stuck.
fishes, hits the Rek'Sai. Oh no! Karthus
Big
gets
set.
all gets stopped. So I
Oh wait,
think
how did
the
that stop? I didn't
Seraphine
see.
ult? I think Seraphine
Oh, did
ult? I'm not sure.
Seraphine ult it? Oh my god, where's our Alienware replay or whatever that is?
Wow. I mean, SB had to try for something. They had to just take a fight. Almost worked out. Again, I think the Karthus ult needs to be earlier and from further back. But, you know. what can you hope for except for a fishing expedition?
Right? Yeah, I mean, now TSC is just super scaly. They can't reach them.
All right, so
Oh, can they not
it's
win
gotta
here?
be
I guess
be Red Side bans Vigar game 3 because Vigar has been
Yeah.
so key in these first two games. Both mid laners have played Vigar extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I can't imagine that it's not first pick if it does get through.
Same, same.
Also, I think the Seraphine was a huge improvement on the
And
Senna.
the Jinx over the Lucian.
Yeah,
I just think Lucian just doesn't feel that great right now. Maybe if they played Lucian Nami, that's fine.
I think the Wukong is still good. I think it'll be a lot better not into a Vigar. I think Vigar is very hard for it.
Yeah.
I also think Rek'Sai might legitimately be a hard matchup because there's just so much early damage. There's AoE damage, so if you get on the Wukong and he starts to clone away, like you're still gonna hit him.
That's an 11-1 Veigar. There's your early Karth Assault from far. That's game 2 to TSC. So whoever voted for TSC, you get all your points back. Now we got 10 minutes until game 3. SB opts for red side again. Also, yes, thank you Sobo for all the gifted subs. Very nice.
still going? Yeah. I lost power twice, and there was a weird popping sound the second time outside. I know, but I have power. I don't. I would have expected that like weird popping sound means no power. Is the game still going? Oh,
Uh, TSC won.
Ooh.
TSC
So-
won and SB chose the red side, so is SB going to ban the Vagar? That is the question now.
If they don't, I don't know, man. I mean, it's strong right now, and it's also just
What did they ban?
it's been
Before.
used very well by both these teams.
Well,
Because
they
again, like,
banned.
oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking what band they would replace. Because SB has been banning Bard, Evelyn, and Zaya.
Yeah, I would replace the Bard. I think that the Seraphine was really effective, and I could see them picking it again.
Yeah.
I think like Wired's Bard is cracked, but I think he has like several picks that are very strong, and I don't know that the Bard, like the relative advantage on the Bard is so high.
That it needs the ban.
Yeah.
I mean, Bard also does have very good disengage with his ult. So it could be, since not at TSC, since SB keeps playing these heavy engage comps, maybe they don't want it because of that.
Yeah,
Question
I
mark?
mean Zaya's also
And
so
Zaya,
good
same
into.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, they could let the Evelyn through, and just
Let Mr.
Try-
Satan get
try-
his main.
yeah, try to get an advantage pre-6. Like,
But I don't think SB is that big of an early game team.
I think given that they chose red side, they are going to switch out the Bard ban for a Vigar ban, or else they're just giving up.
It's a
I think that we're going to
series.
see a different mid pick. I think that we saw a lot of really good
Yeah.
Victor play from Angela in the regular season. Maybe Ari as well. I
Already
don't remember if she ever
strong right now.
played it. I think she did.
I
Maybe
don't
I'm thinking of someone
remember.
else, but pretty sure I saw a couple good Victor games.
We got a lot of Victor.
I think there's a good chance that we still see the Wukong though, which
Yeah.
I think was better executed in game 1, but harder to execute in game 2 anyway. So
Yeah.
you know,
Just based off of what TSC picked, I think.
yeah.
So we're guessing Bard in the game, Vagar out of the game.
I don't know if do they pick the Bard 100% of the time
I
if it's
don't
not banned?
know. I
Because
don't.
the Seraphine was super good. Like it helped a lot. I get what
Right.
you're saying that the disengage potential against a lot of Dan's favorite champs is definitely there.
But I mean,
Although
yeah, I felt good about the Seraphine too. So
Dan's plays
who
anything
knows?
also.
Who knows? But we will know in 3 minutes.
I would also really like to see a different top laner. I
Yeah,
don't think that
for
the
Twan.
Malphite was. Yeah, I think that it
Not
like
the
it just
play.
didn't allow him to get any like skill expression out. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Aurelia was looking real good, and we just didn't see that out of the Malphite.
Especially since they've opted for red side again
Yeah,
to have
there
this
was
counter.
there was that one super good ult in that fight in the blue side of like SB's bot side jungle, but then they walked into the Vigard W. But other than that, I don't know. I think the Malphite was
It
not
happens.
worth saving for counter pick,
Yeah, for sure.
unless you're worried. I guess to be fair, Plobe did play Silas the game before, so if you pick the Malphite too early, you risk that. But
Right. I wonder if they're ever gonna opt to switch Wukong top.
yeah, I wish I knew more about top lane matchups. I don't think that in my head, Wukong into set doesn't sound like so good that it would have made sense that game.
Yeah,
Because I feel like putting more bodies into set is like
not good.
not necessarily good. Yeah,
No.
for his E and Gore Drinker and stuff. But
I mean, what I've seen that has been good into set is Ash. Ash top.
yeah, that's probably what they're gonna do.
So Skyhawk swaps to top lane, picks Ash again. Then they pick Malphite again too, but it goes bottom.
Ooh, I mean a Vayne top.
Yeah, Vayne top too.
Yeah, has anyone ever played Vayne top in BTL this season? I can't remember one particular example.
I can't remember any examples.
Oh, you know what? Walker got like 25 kills week 1 against what team was it? One of the other 9
Yeah,
on Vayne top.
I think I'll have to go through the game records to look at the pick a band to remember.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to do it.
Looks like Wired had PC issues and is now back and ready to pick Bard.
I've also never played with Toonsoul, but GP is gigabusted this patch as
Oh
well.
god, no.
I don't know who, like, not like most people are not Gangplank players, but like, I mean, if you're looking at like skill expression for a you know
GP's the play.
rank mismatch, that's the yeah.
I don't know
Especially-
if I've seen him play it, but he does just play a bunch of random stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, we got a spec link up.
It's a good series. Wow. So the over in the bet is getting more and more
Nice.
value. Both winners series going to 3 games.
3 games. I think I picked higher over.
It's gonna be a little awkward if there only ends up being one lower bracket series.
Yeah. Then you lose a lot of games.
I'll just not change anything. The over couldn't possibly win.
Yeah. Alright, let's start the prediction. And we are into pick ban. Alright. How much money for a Vagar ban on red? Okay. It's
Same
time.
ban so far.
I feel like SB is going to ego and leave up Vagar.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
It's Bard time. Okay, but TSC had to have seen this coming potentially, so what's the first pick?
Right. So I wonder if they pick the Victor away, which I
Oh,
think
true.
was the other mainstay mid laner that SB had been going with,
I
if
think
my
I've
memory is
seen-
correct.
Yeah. Well,
Lock in a Sejuani jungle first.
it's a little
I
early for me.
don't quite
That's
get
a
it.
little early.
The classic counter pick.
It's really early.
Yeah, and you're probably going to see a tank top. So Trundle
Right.
feels really good. Almost certainly not a tank support, but
But what
Two-
if
2 tanks in the
Wukong-
game Trundle is loving it.
Sure. And Sivir.
Wow, the second it's not banned, they lock in the Sivir. So TSC did their homework more than I did, and they knew that Sivir was a prio pick for this team. Trundle Sivir, like, it's fine. I've definitely picked it on several B game games before, but like, it's not super cohesive as a
Right.
R1 R2.
Is it time? It's time.
It is.
He reset the PC, and he's here.
It's exciting.
Okay.
That's a pretty hype bot lane to watch Game 3 winners bracket semifinals.
And are we going to see Leona again first round? Or do we need a mid pick before they
I think
get
we're
banned?
gonna see something different than Leona. Oh wow! So
Trundle top?
this is a flex potentially, right? It could be
It could
Trundle
be
top and Mumu
support.
jungle, Trundle jungle and Mumu support. I mean, I guess it could be Trundle top and Mumu
Trundle
support,
support. A Mumu jungle.
but I don't think that's what it is. I think that Bard is way happier with more walls in bot lane.
Yeah.
But ooh, look, best followers, prime and viewers on mountviewers.com. Remove the space.
Space. Is there a bot in chat?
Yeah, there's a bot in chat.
Oh no, I can't switch over. Otherwise the stream will get messed up.
I just went to the website and downloaded a bunch of stuff and it seems fine. The Victor is banned.
Okay.
Okay. So SB opting maybe for this house. I don't love it right now. I don't hate it,
Yeah.
but I mean they had to pick mid something.
Well, right now, I mean, SB has a lot of flex potential right now.
True. Yeah. Like
Silas
but like
can still go top, right?
Yeah. The alts aren't like incredible though. They're pretty. I don't know.
Right.
Like
Okay, set again.
I
did
love
well.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so good. I think it was one of the keys to the game for them. Just sticking even in the top lane. So let's see what they do with the counter pick top this time.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the
I
Sass has
guess
already been
counter pick anything. And a Corky. Okay. I think that's good for PJ.
Yeah.
Also
I mean, I think
scales very well.
TSC has a really nice like scaling comp. Yeah, they have good team fights. I think that they're gonna be focusing objectives pretty hard with the Bard roams and the Corky packages. And then SB is gonna choose the champ that locks in 4 different positions. So it is a Ziggs mid, Silas top, probably Trundle jungle, a Mumu support.
That
I mean, we'll see.
sounds right.
Could be a Ziggs support.
Could be. It could be a Sivir
jungle.
mid Ziggs AD.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, maybe they haven't decided yet.
They're just gonna lock in this order once we get into the in-game draft, and then swap before 20.
Yeah.
Did somebody already remove the bot in chat?
I don't think so. I'm not a mod.
Oh, I see them.
All right, I'm gonna go against my initial vote, and I'm gonna vote for TSC. I like their draft. I think that it's a little more cohesive. I think that the Silas is going to be hard to play into this team. I don't think that they have incredible ults to steal. I don't I also don't know what positions people are going, but I don't know that the set, like, I don't know that anyone's going to be able to do, like, to really shut down the set in the way that they would like to.
All right.
I just bet 5,000 to win 10 bubble points.
What's the split right now? 4% SB, 96% to TSC now. Where's the split?
Like, I guess, what does this SB comp want to be doing? Because Ziggs doesn't really want to run in. Trundle has trouble running in.
Right. Sivir
Silas and Amumu do want to run in, but
and Sivir. Well,
Yeah,
I guess Sivir
yeah.
wants her team to run in
yeah.
or run away.
I mean, also like a Mumu jumps in, gets a good ult. I feel like he either gets ulted out or he gets Bard ulted during it, and
Right.
I don't know.
We'll see. But I'm
So
looking
right now
forward to a Bard game.
they're showing Silas top, Trundle jungle,
Right.
Ziggs mid, Amumu support, which I think is what we said, but
Yeah.
we've said a lot of stuff.
We've said a lot of stuff. And now the split is 50-50 again. TSC, SB. And poor Skyhawk, poor now from voting for his team last game with 10k points, can only put in 6k points this time.
Alright, I'm putting the rest of my money on TSC. I'm a believer.
Splitting the vote more. 35 to 65.
To me, the key for the game for SB is Misa winning the jungle matchup, which one, he's
Should,
like
right?
entirely capable of doing against anyone in the league, and two, yeah, like it's a counter. I mean, it's a much bigger counter after level 6 when you have the ult. So if I'm Sejuani in this game, I highly consider taking Conqueror or what's the icy one? The one
Glacial?
Glacial instead of Aftershock, because the
Since
whole
she's not as tanky.
so you don't so you're not tanky in bursts, because then Trundle ult can't fuck you quite as hard.
Right.
This is like one of the only matchups I'll do that into, but I definitely have done that and have felt more comfortable on it. And I think that they don't quite have enough burst. Like, I think that you can get Conqueror going and feel good about it. But yeah, I think if it's pretty much on Misa for me. I mean, maybe Dan gets a bunch of really sick catches early game, but other than that, like, how much potential to like, how much playmaking ability does SB have?
Well, definitely not as much as last game.
Yeah.
So,
I think it'll be a really fun game, though.
think
In
so,
my
too.
opinion, the jungle is a fun thing to watch.
I'm
I
ready
know.
to watch the Bard. Wired roam, wired kill, wired protect. It's his time.
Scaling feels even-ish. I would give the slight edge to TSC. I mean, Sivir and Jinx both scale, but I think Jinx is like a little better. Ziggs and Corki both scale, but Corki's like a little better. Bard scales.
Does a Mumu scale?
I mean, any tank scales, but a Mumu support doesn't build full tank, so not as
Yeah.
much. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Ziggs has like power taking ability, which is great, but other than that, I don't know that SB has like the go buttons that they need to accelerate the game to the degree they need to.
Right. I mean, I guess TSC doesn't have a. Well, they have Sejuani, Corky, and maybe Bard to help lock down the Ziggs. Because usually with Ziggs, you want them to just sit back there and poke all day. And if you don't have anything to engage on, then he just sits there and damage, damage, damage. I think once again, TSC has a similar setup to last game, where they pick scaling in mid and bot. I don't know how much better Corky is in lane compared to Veigar or against Ziggs.
Flame Dragon is saying that scaling is heavily favored to TSC, not slightly. I think that sounds reasonable, but you know, I don't know.
I mean, if somebody else came into chat and said SB had better scaling, I'd say that's reasonable.
No, if they said SB had better scaling, I'd be like, eh. But
You can say whatever you want.
it's a free country.
I think TSC has better scaling too.
I mean, I guess like, is it significant? Like, Ziggs does scale. I mean, I know Corky Corky Jinx are like hyper scalers,
Pretty
but
heavy.
like Sivir's kind of like when if Sivir's not kind of a hyper scaler, when is Sivir good in the game? And maybe the answer is just Sivir's never good, but
She has good wave clear at the start and decent lane.
well, yeah, but she uses all her mana doing it.
Oh, we gotta stop predictions. 51% to TSC is the end.
All right, so Flame Dragon in Twitch says if SB doesn't close out mid game, they get outscaled. How do they close out mid game? Because they have a Mumu ult, which is great, but other than that, like what? Oh, well, this is some way. They get 2 stuns onto the 3 stuns onto the Bard. They kill the Bard. They blow flashes, but who cares? They get first blood onto Trundle. Does he back before? He's got 3 seconds to back. Okay, he's not backing. I mean, this is it, right? Trundle needed to win the jungle matchup to win this game. Sataniel opts for Phase Rush, which is, I guess, another good keystone that is not Aftershock. I didn't think about it because I have never played Phase Rush in my life, but it's a good one.
What time are you
I
at?
also 123, 124, 125,
I'm at
126.
127. I'm like 1 second ahead.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's alright.
I think Press the Attack is pretty good here. I almost exclusively play Lethal Tempo on Trundle, but he's got to win fights early, and maybe Press the Attack just gives you that slight advantage early. And perhaps he doesn't feel like he'll get enough value out of Lethal Tempo in the mid-game team fights. Otherwise, summoners are pretty much as you'd expect.
Another cleanse. No exhaust this time.
Or sorry, yeah, keystones.
Oh yeah. Not summoners.
Yeah. Ooh. Maybe I should have changed my bet. Dan is playing Teapot Amumu.
Teapot.
Pretty crisp skin.
I don't like that it looks like he has a tail, but I think that's just supposed to be his bandage.
Oh, Mitchy Poo getting a huge trade.
Oh, that's really up, Dan. Another good trade for TSC in bottom.
Barak gets a nice little trade onto Plobe to get a little bit of damage into that mid matchup before he goes clearing his top camps. I think he's gonna. If I were him, I'm taking the red and I'm going top.
No,
Weird cleanse. Forgot he didn't have heal.
Oh. Oh,
They
Sejuani.
salvaged the trade a bit, and the Sejuani's here. Sejuani has red buff. Flashes on both bot laners. I think we're gonna see flashes from SB here. I don't know that you can get much more. He greets the flash. No. He just doesn't flash.
Yeah.
He doesn't greed shit.
He didn't have to flash.
Yeah, he's just better at League of Legends than me. Okay, so Trundle looks for the gank opportunity, doesn't find it. I don't think he showed. I think he's just going to his cards. I wasn't watching
the
though.
comeback.
Oh, the regank. Dan goes in, gets the kill on Elky. Weird flash. The kill onto Skyhawk. Weird flashes all around.
Oh, they don't get the Amumu though. Oh.
Oh, well,
unless-
then it wasn't a
oh,
weird
there we
flash.
go.
Oh,
they
they get the.
Wait.
Uh,
Ignite? Oh no, they don't have it. Yeah, but you
no
have to watch the
mana on
Ziggs.
Wired.
You really want this for Corky.
Oh wow, Ziggs getting there first is huge, by the way. I don't know how Ziggs got there first, but it's fantastic for them. So much happening in this game 3 already. We got 2 kills onto an Amumu, 2 kills onto Sejuani. So both bot laners feeling okay without getting the kills because, well, maybe not, but you know, neither bot laner got an advantage out of it. Sivir is coming back to lane with an extra dagger, but you know, who gives a shit?
Oh, Brian's back. Uh-oh.
But Sejuani getting those 2 kills is going to make it a lot harder for Trundle to press the advantage early. Sataniel back on the bot gank. No sums down here. Doesn't push it too hard without the support. The support's roaming top, which is an awkward timing because they're... Well, they weren't going to stop him on his back, but they do. Dang, what a banger of a game already.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, Brian, come watch. It's game 3.
Yeah, I just played a Moon test. I played First Strike AP Jungle.
Oh my god, Brian, you're so goddamn cool.
Poor Steven.
Adam says you're very cool.
Huh?
Unless I have to turn off my copyright music. There we go.
What's his name? Cool?
Adam
Adam.
K.
Adam K. Okay.
Yeah, because I heard him saying he was playing First Strike AP Jungle Amumu.
I mean, I think the even state still feels better for TSC overall, probably, right? Since they have better scaling.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is like, all right, I might be a little partial here, but I think the Sejuani getting those kills is fantastic. Like, obviously, you know, I mean, the Jinx died pretty early, I think.
Yeah.
So, couldn't have helped. But the Sejuani is coming into this with a lot of stats. I think the dragon is going to be gone because he's just going straight bot. This dragon, though, really fucks you up. Like,
Wait, is
taking...
that just air? That's air, right?
No, it's
Oh, it's Hex?
Hextech.
Yeah.
Hextech
Wait.
dragon at level 4, level 5 is...
Wait, no, that was air.
Oh, it was there? Well, then, what do I know?
But yes, Hex Tech Dragon very strong.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it this game.
Both junglers sequencing up. Sejuani gets to be there first if she wants to. Neither jungle, like, I don't know. I think ganking top is very hard for both junglers. Because if Sejuani shows top, Silas gets Sejuani ult. And if Trundle shows top, like, I don't know, like, Set is like a 2v1 god if he wants to be.
It's just begun. I told you.
Okay.
Which is also why we've seen a lot of really smart ganks bought from Sejuani over and over to get the kills.
Taking off my pants.
We do see a 2v2 coming here
Ooh,
top.
okay.
So you see the Sejuani
Oh, the
alt
turnaround
steal.
jumper though.
He has ult. Nice. Oh. 1 for 1.
1-for-1.
That was also like,
Uh-oh.
Through the hole, Matt.
Toonsel's. Oh, spell shields the
Oh
root.
my god.
Oh,
Kills the Jinx over the wall. What a
Over
beautiful
the
cue.
wall.
Wow, what a great play from Riot Skyhawk. But in that top fight, I feel like Toonsel used the Sejuani ult to much greater effect than Sejuani did. He flashed
Yeah.
and dashed out to get enough range to get the full ult. And I think that's, I mean, you get much more damage out of that way.
Trying to dive
Ooh,
a
they try to catch him on his way to lane. Doesn't quite work, but I like the idea. Sejuani sequencing back camps. I expect to see a bot gank when they come back to lane. If I'm Sejuani, I'm taking my red right here, getting ready for that. Instead, they decide to invade, which is fine, but they're not going to have the red buff for the gank. Trundle also skipping the red, going straight top onto the Rift Herald. They show that they're there. They have a decent amount of pressure top. Plo is backing. I think he's not going to take the package if he even has it.
Yes, Bard hole.
They do a 3v1 and they get a kill onto
Beautiful.
the Jinx. TSC doing exactly what they need to be doing there.
So you know how everybody's been like adding ussy to the ends of words
Yeah.
that to things that like have holes. So we now have the Bardussy, which is his whole wall. So they just Bardussy killed that silver.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Really actually fantastic response by SB. I mean, Dan wasn't there, so that it was a 1v3 because Dan wasn't there, but he opts to move top to get the Herald. And then instead of backing up to secure the Herald, he helps dive the top lane. They get the kill and they get the first tower. 5 plates. Silas is big. Everyone's a little bit bigger now. Like, oh, my voice cracked. I was so excited.
I didn't hear it.
Really, really excellent response by SB. Just a good game so far.
Yeah, I do feel like SB is playing this game a lot more aggressively than they have any other game that I've seen them play.
I would agree with that. I mean, I think they, and this is just my personal opinion, scaling is heavily favored to TSC, not slightly.
Yeah.
So I think they
Not
recognize that they
slightly.
need to end the game. And it's not going to be a Cloud Soul. Second drag coming up right now. They have 5 people here. They have no Amumu ult, but everything else is up. Whose ult is Silas looking to steal? Probably Sejuani over and over in these types of plays. I mean, Sejuani.
Bard could be fine.
Bard could be interesting,
you
and
want
Jinx if
them.
it's a fadeaway kill.
There's the Bard ult.
He does steal the
There's
Bard
the
ult,
other
and
Bard
then
ult.
Bard ults.
And then Bard ults. Oh, PG doesn't die yet. Not enough damage by Ziggs.
Yeah, it's a 0-0-0 PJ, which is,
It's not
I mean,
what we
it's a
want.
scaling pick, but it's not what TSC wants.
Yeah,
Which maybe that's the brilliance of the Ziggs pick, you know?
right.
It's just something that, like,
You just
you're not really gonna kill.
Could he Discord stream for me, or is it
What, Brad?
he Discord stream for me, or is it dual?
Am I
I
not
think
Discord
you
streaming right
can.
now?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, because my power went out and I never turned it back on. There you go. It's going to go back to directed cam in a sec.
That is a-okay.
Here.
Ooh, the
Oh,
Bardussi.
Ooh, even state game, I see.
Brian, who has better scaling?
There's better scaling?
Yeah,
and by how much?
by like
and by how much?
Yeah.
Let me think. Let me think. Personal opinion, I think SB is better scaling, slightly.
Wait, just slightly or not
It depends.
slightly?
It depends on. Oh my god. Okay, well, the stream is paused now.
Sorry,
Okay, it's back. Oh, no,
I had to alt tab so that I could see chat. I'm waiting for the Flame Dragon response. This guy's typing in
pretty close,
Fiverr.com Hurricane Caesar right now.
Cool. I think they actually have slightly better scaling. I think the Shundle makes this pretty interesting because you could
Ooh.
That's aggressive. 'Cause you have
He's
teammates
ahead
there.
of the team, but he's got another Q still. He uses
no.
it. I mean, this
he almost solo killed
with the
it.
quirky, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
wow,
he gets
they're
it.
just running
Wait,
down.
Dan, that was the most aggressive and beautiful play. What?
Just
He
way out.
just took Corky entirely out of the fight. It
Yeah,
would have been
that's
great if his
pretty
team
funny.
was there, but like, wow.
I mean, they got a kill off it.
They did.
Yeah,
does.
they got a kill of it, and Amumu gets out. Like, what a good Amumu support play. And they're gonna get this tower pretty easily, which is 3 towers to 0 in favor of SB. And now we're starting to see SB take it the way they want. They're up 2 dragons. What kind of soul is it? It's Hextech soul.
Oh, that's big.
That's a big
Yeah.
soul for Sivir and Ziggs.
Yeah, it's really good for them. I think even though TSC has some comeback mechanics and the Bard and the Sejuani, and they're pretty strong comeback mechanics, I think finding a flank here is gonna be pretty hard with their team comp. They really have to line up like the Bard ult with a decent flank from like set. But if you don't do that, and the Sivir and the Ziggs start getting some space, I think it might be pretty difficult for them to win face-ups. Corky has to get pretty big for them to like win legit face-ups. I think Jinx is really secondary this game. Doesn't really matter.
Wow,
Yeah,
the
she exists.
Sejuani also going for the Lucidity boots. I don't know if that's specifically a Trundle counter idea or if he just wants his ult to be on cooldown. I think either of the Merc Treads or Tabbies are better, but I don't know.
That's
I
interesting.
kind of respect it. Like, I feel like it's really easy to talk shit about, like, people, and so I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I actually, yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I don't know if I would have gone for it.
I would have gone Merc Treads
I would've gone Merc
directly
Treads,
into what's it called, the heel cut tank item. You know what I'm talking about?
Cornmeal.
Yeah, that one.
There we go. Yeah, I think I think I probably would too, honestly. But you know, it's pretty interesting, I guess. I don't really get the point of the CDR boots. I mean, maybe for ult cooldown. I don't know. It feels like every time you actually have a fight, you're gonna have it, though. You know? Does she
I mean-
really benefit off of CDR otherwise? Very much.
No. I mean, your W's up whenever you want it to be up, and
And Q has a pretty long cooldown.
you get 1 Q per fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. Pretty
All right. So
interesting.
here, he's got
If they win, you should ask him. So I'm confused too.
vision.
I
He's
think
gonna
it's
try to
pretty
steal this.
impossible.
He's gonna try to
It's
steal
just
it.
gonna be a slide in.
Bartle?
Oh no!
Oh, it missed.
that's
Oh,
so
they got
sad.
it with the digs. Oh, that's not
So
good.
they-
That's
they
a.
get the fantastic Bard ult, but then Amumu was standing in a pretty good way, right? So if you stand right on the edge where Sejuani Q's in, Sejuani does not Q over the wall and stays on their side of the wall. Sejuani was able to Q in, but wasn't able to get damage off because Amumu stopped the dash, so she wasn't able to W, get an E in.
Yeah.
I stopped
Trundle
the set
sectioned a
TP
little bit, but
too.
he's pretty tanky. Doesn't even have to invest ult any.
Oh, they're not able to kill the Rift Herald, which by the way was like sprinting after it hit that first tower.
Oh, Michipu has the flash. It's unfortunate.
Trundle 3-0-1, going for a second item, Frozen Heart maybe, or Randuin's, which I also don't understand, but you know.
Oh, yeah. On the scaling question, why do I think this?
PJ.
Oh no, PJ. Oh
Oh.
my
I
god.
stopped moving.
He didn't flash out of it either. He thought he could move out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's a little silly.
It is a little unfortunate. Well, but on the scaling question, I think I prefer SP's comp in terms of like going late game, just because of the composition. Like, I mean, like, yeah, Jinx can be a really big threat in the late game. Corgi obviously scales really hard, you know. But
Yeah.
I think there's a world where, I mean, actually, it is a very, very likely world where Trundle presses R on Sejuani, and then you just like look at all the melees that have to be in this. Like the Set and Sejuani are gonna have to be in very set spots. You can probably
Yeah.
shred them really easily, and then the backline access for SP is a lot more reliable than the backline access for TSC. Like a lot more reliable. Mumu getting to the backline is like relatively
Yeah.
easy, and
This
then
Mumu pick has been so good.
yeah, and it's pretty hard to prevent. Like, it's easier for Silas to get flanks, especially with like Sejuani ult, get flanks and then get backline access.
Ooh,
And
the
I don't think
Sejuani
the
has
threat
to
on the
flash.
backline for SB, like I don't think TSC has real threat on backline. So I actually think SB's comp is pretty solid in the late game. Like it's difficult for TSC's comp to actually put threat on backline. Doesn't really matter how champions scale 1-1 to each other if they don't interplay well in a comp like this. So.
Oh, Sejuani ult misses
Ooh. Oh, good
after
line.
the Bard ult. Sataniel too deep now. Doesn't get out. The second Bard ult misses as well from Silas. 2 for 1 right now. 3 for 1 in favor of
Got him in the
SB.
back.
That's
They're gonna get
unfortunate.
a lot
This could
off
be-
this. They're probably gonna get an inhibit to Baron.
Oh no.
4. It's
Clovis.
not quite a
Kinda
wipe
playing too close to.
yet. Well, Ziggs is still taking damage.
Oh, live.
Little awkward.
Surely her back is pretty big.
Oh!
Oh, well, okay, her death is gonna give her some items.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Ziggs who the Jinx who died first in the fight is able to come back to life, kill the Ziggs.
Yeah. Her build path is pretty interesting too. She's gonna skip the Archangel to go straight for the death cap.
We've got a 4-0-2 Trundle, who's so tanky.
Whoa.
And he's doing exactly what he
Corki-
needs to be doing.
Corki
So
got
this is not-
crowned.
This is not the first time we've seen TSC go for these Baron plays.
That's not very
There's 5 members of SB here.
How do you feel about
We
Corki's
have a
crown? I think
flank.
it's a bad idea.
We have a flank.
Quirky
For
what?
set. He doesn't use it.
Corki got crowned as his mythic. That doesn't make sense to me. I feel like your real advantage here is Corki poking.
Right.
Yeah.
The other team doesn't have that reliable poke or anything like that. I think you can actually build an advantage there and then get Jinx to reset if you get kills off the Corki poke. See, that Corki poke was a lot. What if he had, like, Ludens,
Ludens.
you know?
Yeah.
Holy
Plus,
shit.
Sivir Ziggs have a lot of times to throw out abilities to.
Right, to top the crown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I
Wow,
agree.
they're staying for this Baron. Sivir is low, man. Sivir is very low. No mana. I think TSC could press this, but I don't know if they know that. Because they're not seeing these health bars and these mana bars.
TSC's gonna deny his
He's
soul.
going for
Yeah.
the dragon.
We have a bit more knowledge than TSC did going into that fight. They opt for the dragon. It's fine. I
Man, I
think they
wonder-
probably could have countered.
Yeah. I wonder if they thought they were gonna lose anyway and they just took the dragon.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, it probably a prudent plan considering how many ults they're missing too. They're behind.
Yeah.
They're missing like pretty big impact ults in the Sejuani, the Jinx, and the Mario ults. They're all pretty critical ults. So.
Yeah, it's much easier to be on this side of it, and that's why I'm gonna make declarative statements on this side of it. TSC hard inting right now, ridiculous. Should not even be able to play in losers bracket.
So we got a third forfeited team, or what are we getting at?
Yeah. Oh no,
that's a
Corky getting
crowd
caught
pop.
out. That's a dead Corky.
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
is it
Twanko
dead
got debated a
Silas?
little. Okay.
it's an alive
That's good.
Corky. Okay, so then here's the question: did he just survive that because of his crown?
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Maybe. I mean, I guess so. Probably. Technically. I don't know if you would be optimizing around that specific scenario, you know? But
Yeah.
sure.
So what your point is that if he had built Ludens, they would be up 20-0.
Of course.
So, you know, it's not even relevant.
I mean, if we're talking about scaling too, I feel like it actually kind of nukes the scaling on his crown too. Kind of feels unfortunate, right? Because if you're building this build, you're trying to scale with pure poke, do tons of poke damage, get them really chunked, and then make plays, especially around package.
Well,
So,
he
like,
also has a null magic mantle. I don't know if that's going to be
he's
building
gonna-
into a
surely.
oh, Hex Drinker. Okay, that makes more sense. I was thinking about Banshees.
Yeah, nah. I think it's certainly Hex Drinker. He doesn't want to get burst. But see, that's kind of weird because he has crown, so he doesn't want to get burst because he got crown, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a lot. I think you need damage. Oh, that was actually kind of a big W.
That's a big Sejuani ult too. We have a huge Corky ult.
There
He's not able to
he's not gonna get
get
knighted.
too much out of it. They're able to collapse on him. The Sejuani lives because of it, but almost a huge Corky ult.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what they need to be trying.
Yeah, I respect it. I mean, Michipu got a really big W there. It actually did a pretty big chunk, but that was kind of it.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
SP look like they're on the warpath.
Blue team's inhibitors respawning soon.
I mean, now it's really dangerous because there's zero chance with all these inhibits down. It's really hard to get any sort of backline access. So threatening this Sivir, this Ziggs would be very close to impossible. That sounds very dangerous right now. I wonder is Sivir, so Sivir's back in here. Is she gonna complete her next item? I assume she will. PD, right? Yeah. So the PD buy. I mean, she's pretty unkillable here.
Alright, I'm gonna step away for a second. Let me know if anything happens. Or just pause.
Uh-oh. Miss Bartle. They're just gonna sprint at him. Dan doesn't have flash. He's gonna ult 2, gets Aoki's cleanse, gets the stun on Wired. Michipu gets a W, but he's gonna go down in the process, and it's gonna be a sweep. I think this is probably it. They're running them down. Wired getting caught. Aoki trying to turn some damage back, taking a ton of damage in return. And it's only the 2 carries up for the TSC squad as they see their base. Ooh, that ult almost kills Skyhawk and Twansel. Skyhawk tries to W it, or E it, but a little too late. Oh, Dan's taking some damage here. Can Plobe pull off a miracle? Force them off. He can. For the time being, at least, all the health bars are pretty low, but they lose a Nexus Tower anyway. Both Nexus Towers. Nobody, SB might be lacking in the health department. They're not lacking in the members up department, so they're going to go for their Hex Soul, and I think after this one, I'm not sure. Oh, wow, the teleport in. Plobe wants blood. Look, he's half HP, but he realizes this game is probably out of reach if they don't do something here. He's going to try to kill Agent Problems. Going to get her. Aoki's going to get her at least. Only one kill, though. And investing that TP, getting them out of base. They wanted a little more than that, but they can't get much more than that. So that one kill is fine, but now the creeps are streaming in. And as SB heals back and respawns, they can set up for this Baron pretty safely. That should be the nail in the coffin if they can get it. Don't actually hit that ward. This sweep. Oh, we get it now. Oh, never mind.
Did I miss anything?
SB almost won the game.
Ooh, SB's
But
winning
they
now.
didn't.
Huh.
Who would have
Interesting.
guessed?
Yeah. Alright, so if, I'm not saying they're going to, SB wins this, who are we interviewing?
I didn't watch games 1 and 2, so that's up to you, Adam.
Oh, wow. Elaine is here too.
My suggestion is that we interview the perma-sub, because we've surely interviewed everybody else on this team many times.
Ooh, yeah.
Logic. Oh, speaking of the perma-sub, he goes in with the set ult, with counter ult. Wait, TSC has some positive health bars here on the bot side. Agent Problems also gonna go down to Plobe. That's a lot of SB members off the map and no Baron Con. It's a lot of time bot. They only traded Bard. Time and money gained by the TSC side, and no Baron taken out. And the hid respawns on the top side. All in all, just like a really positive play. Alright, but if TSC wins, who are you interviewing, Adam? Is it Michi Poo, the other perma sub?
I mean, his set has been pretty good. I don't know. Given the scoreline right now, it might be Alki, but Plobe was pretty nuts in game 2.
What are you playing in game 2? I have no idea.
Vigar.
Who's Vigar?
Vigar has been very influential in this season, in this series.
Agar series, Brian.
I see. And then I put hella meat in there for you.
Yeah.
And you know, like the meat. Oh, my bad. Because everybody else likes the meat. Yeah, the thick meat.
Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
SB gets the Elder. They're gonna march towards Baron, maybe reset and meatball mid into the open Nexus, and that might be it. Then they'll play pretty stiff competition in B Gang in the winners final.
Did that Corky look bigger than normal?
Oh, is it because the normal Corky you see is my Corky and this one's not
Look
as
at how
fed?
big he is.
Well, that joke fell
Oh, so
flat.
SB got Baron. Well, Brian,
I think.
Brian, did you hear about the Bardussi?
The what?
Bardussi?
What? Is this some
The
D's notes joke or
Bardussi.
something?
No, Brian, it's Bard's Hole. The Bardussi.
Stop. I don't, what? Stop. No, I'm good.
It's a
I'm
tunnel,
good.
Brian.
I don't want to have anything to do with this. I knew that's what you're saying, but I didn't want to know that's what you're saying.
It's the tunnel,
No,
Brian.
it was
No,
in the
no,
patch
no,
notes,
I'm good.
Brian.
I'm good. I'm
It's
good.
an official Riot
Term.
Yeah, I'm good.
term.
Is that his E? Or is it W? Which spell is the Bardussi spell?
I've never played Bard in my life.
And that's why.
I don't remember. Well, this is looking like a game that's about to end. No. Set has been setted with his own set.
Nice. Well, the roar of the Elder tells me the game is big over. GG.
And Bardussi is the portal.
Ugh, okay. Is it a tonsil angle?
That's a Twansa
Yeah.
angle.
Get the tonsil. Alright, so
trying to
who's
find
getting...
the-
Am I getting the tonsil?
I'll go grab. I'm just trying to find the drafts from game 2 so that I remember who was
Okay,
playing what.
I'll grab him in the meantime. I believe in
Okay. Okay.
Twansel, you're
That's an
coming with me.
SB win.
You're coming with me. You're coming with me. Meet me in the spectator chat.
Meet me
Alright,
in
so-
the spectator chat.
Hello.
What's up, Twansel?
Hello.
Interesting that Dan talking here and his name isn't Twansel, but okay. Let's proceed. Hello,
So
Adam. I did only watch one game, so you
I
will lead this.
I got you. I got you. So okay, the first question that I want to ask, and this isn't about something you did. Uh, did SB lose game two because Misa stole the penta? Did that boom your mental too
It,
hard as a team?
I think we boomed a little, but it was a very experimental draft in game two.
That's true. All right,
I am
so uh, you came in as a sub. You were playing against a top lane sub.
Mhm.
What? How is playing with SB? Are they pretty bad?
they're pretty good. They're really nice. I was kind of
Huh.
nervous because like I heard this was like the favorites to win, and I was replacing like their shot caller, and I'm like, oh shit. But they were very nice, and they integrated me easily.
And now he's the shot caller.
I
Good job,
am not the
Chancellor.
shot caller.
Yeah.
I
So you
am.
guys,
I
you
give
guys said you
suggestions.
had an experimental draft game too. You saved the counter pick for the Melfa into the set. What? Why?
It wasn't a counter pick into the set. It was more like we saw Wukong, we saw Karthus, we saw Ash, and we wanted to do just a big wombo. Because we'd have Ash ult into Malphite ult, into Wukong ult, into Leona or Karthus, whatever. It would just it would look amazing. But
Okay.
we kind of fell behind early, and I got solo killed. That was pretty bad.
And then game three, you came back. You picked the Silas. There weren't like incredible alts on the table. Was what was the Silas about? Is that a champ you're just really into, or do you guys just think it has some good outplay potential?
So I like Silas a lot as one, but two is also we didn't want them to take the Silas because we had a Mumu ult and we were
True.
kind of scared of a big wombo on their side, so we just like we'll just take me the Silas. They can't pick Malphite into it, so he'd be forced onto like set because we banned Ornn. So we're like, that's we figured that it'd be fine.
True. Okay. I mean, that's I vibe with that answer. So you guys are looking forward. It's gonna be a little while because there's some 2 weeks worth of bot side or losers bracket games have to be played. You're gonna be going up against the B gang. People are saying the B gang is full of excellent League of Legends players, really handsome guys. What do you think what do you think your chances are against the B gang? What are you going to be drafting into them?
So one, I'm not sure if I'm playing that one yet exactly because Coco might be back.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, so we're not. I'm not 100% sure, but B Gang
Wait,
looked
why
really
the
good when I
fuck
was
did we
watching her.
interview this guy then?
Exactly right. I was surprised.
All right,
Bring
Dan,
Misa in
your
here.
turn
Interview
now.
part two.
Wait, what? I'm back now? I'm allowed?
No, you're not back, and nobody wants you. All right, Twansel, let's continue with your interview.
But yeah, the B Gang when I was watching their game, they seemed really good. Like I thought they
Elena,
were.
you asking? I'm not asking him that. There's no shot that's going through my mouth.
How do you feel about us calling Bard's portal spell? You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
How do you feel about it being called the Bardacy?
No.
I'm fine with that.
Unless you
Alright,
spell
well,
it
okay,
like
Dan,
an
no, Dan,
amalgamation of
no, no, you're
Odyssey.
not supposed to be here.
Yeah, no
Tuan
one
has
wants you, Dan.
said,
Dan.
Tuan said yes, Bardacy's in.
I am down for Bardacy.
All right,
We
so
are
you're
down
telling,
for the Bardacy.
like, considering TSC always plays Bard, are you telling people that the TSC chant, since they don't have one right now, should be like hashtag Bardussi or something?
Hashtag Bardacy.
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 All
So
right.
then,
That's my
without going
question.
too deep into your guys' team comp, you guys are prioing the Wukong pretty heavily, games 1 and 2. To more success, game 1, I think into the Vigar Seraphine is pretty hard. Game 2, is that a was that always going to be jungle? Were you guys were you thinking you might take a top and try your hand at a buffed Wukong top?
So literally last night, Misa just put in the chat, "Whoa, new Wukong is cracked. I'm playing him," and we played him. That's actually what happened.
That's that makes a lot of sense. It's true.
and he did really good game 1, so we put him in game 2. And then we also thought it was like a takeaway because apparently their mid laner plays it as well. So it just served many purposes for our comp.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot. Before I go, what was your favorite moment of this game? And then, in addition, would you consider that your favorite moment of your life so far?
Oh God. My favorite moment. There's 2 moments that I liked a lot that I was a part of because I was in like I tunnel maybe a little bit, so maybe I didn't see all the stuff. But one was where I got a engage. I kind of like I got 5-man mid as Aurelia. Um,
Where your
that felt
team was
good.
a little behind you?
Yeah. But my only purpose was to keep him there, and then I got Lucian. I was like, this is icing on the
Yeah,
cake.
it was
So
very nice.
yeah, so that was a good one. And the last one was when I just flashed in and killed the set bot in the end just now.
Okay.
That felt good too. But one of those 2, I can't tell.
All right, well, thank you very much, and can't wish you good luck next round, but thanks for the interview.
Twan,
Thank you.
last question. Gun to your head. You have to choose between Matt and Twan. Which one do you pick? Gun to your head. I'm about to pull that trigger.
Oh no.
Magnum.
Go Matt. Go Matt.
Oh, fuck. All right. All right, Matt, it is. Let's wrap it up. Goodbye.
Oh, actually, no. Wait. There's 3 Matts here, right?
Full disappointment. Yeah.
Oh no. Go with Twan. Go with Twan.
All right, Twan, it is. Good answer. Wrap it up.
Twan with the Bardussi. Goodbye,
Maybe
everybody.
call Mark instead of Matt. It's pretty close.